The black spots came back 3 weeks after the contractor left. $400. Professional mold remediation. Industrial-grade antifungal spray. Specialized equipment. A 2-man crew who sealed off your bathroom like a biohazard scene and told you the mold was gone. 3 weeks later, the spots returned in the exact same corner. Slightly darker, slightly larger. With that faint, musty smell, that means the root structure, the mycelium threading through the grout and behind the tile, was never touched. Because the spray they used does not kill mold roots. It kills the surface you can see. It bleaches the color out of the spores so the wall looks clean. And underneath, in the porous material the spray never penetrated, the mold waits. In a week, a month, 3 months, it returns. And the $6 billion mold remediation industry counts on that return. There is a solution that costs $1, penetrates 8 millimeters into porous surfaces, kills mold at the root level, chemically alters the pH of the surface so mold cannot reestablish, and leaves behind no residue, no fumes, and no damage to any material it touches. It does not scrub, it does not bleach, it does not mask, it eliminates. The cleaning industry has known about this compound for over 150 years. It appears in industrial food processing, in hospital sanitation protocols, in municipal water treatment systems around the world. It is used by commercial bakeries to sterilize fermentation equipment because it kills mold and mold spores on contact. It is used by the United States Food and Drug Administration as an approved sanitizing agent for food contact surfaces because it leaves zero toxic residue. And in the $50 billion household cleaning products industry, this compound is almost completely absent from consumer-facing shelves. The name is hydrogen peroxide, but not the brown bottle sitting in your medicine cabinet, not 3%. What they buried from you is the concentration, the application method, and the combination that makes it permanently effective, and why the version they sell you at the pharmacy is deliberately formulated to fail. Before we go further, if you have mold in your home right now, a bathroom ceiling with black spots, grout lines that have gone gray, a basement corner with that smell, or a window frame with dark staining, drop the word mold in the comments. We want to document exactly how widespread this problem is while the industry profits from temporary solutions. Subscribe now, because the concentration section of this video is the piece they have worked hardest to keep off mainstream platforms. To understand why this works, you need to understand what mold actually is inside a porous surface. Mold is not a surface phenomenon. What you see, the black, green, or gray discoloration on your grout, your ceiling, your window seal, is the fruiting body. It is the part of the organism that releases spores. The actual living structure of mold is called mycelium, a network of microscopic filaments that extends millimeters to centimeters into whatever porous material the mold is colonizing, into grout, into drywall, into wood, into unsealed concrete. Most commercial mold sprays kill the fruiting body. They kill what you can see. They either bleach it chemically, so the discoloration disappears without the organism dying, or they kill the surface spores while the mycelial network deeper in the material remains alive, undamaged, ready to send up new growth within weeks. This is why mold comes back after professional treatment. This is not a coincidence. This is the physics of surface application meeting the biology of a subsurface organism. Hydrogen peroxide at the correct concentration 12% or higher behaves differently than any surface spray. When applied to a porous material, it penetrates, not just sits on the surface. It physically travels into the pore structure of grout, tile, wood, and drywall, driven by capillary action and its own molecular weight. It reaches the mycelium, and when it reaches it, the chemistry is brutal. Hydrogen peroxide is a reactive oxygen species. When it contacts organic material, mold cells, spore walls, mycelial filaments, it oxidizes them. It breaks apart the cell membranes through oxidative destruction. There is no resistance mechanism mold can develop against this. Bleach kills mold through chlorination, and mold can develop tolerance to repeated chlorine exposure over generations. Hydrogen peroxide kills through oxidation, which destroys the structural integrity of the cell itself at the molecular level. There is no surviving this mechanism. After the mold is dead, the hydrogen peroxide continues working. It further oxidizes the organic waste material left behind dead spores, dead mycelial fragments, the nutrients in the surface that would allow new mold to colonize. It chemically denatures the surface. And then it does something that no bleach, no antifungal spray, no commercial mold killer on any store shelf does. It breaks down into water and oxygen, completely. No residue, no toxic byproduct, no chemical left in the surface that could damage the material or harm a child who touches it. The FDA approved it for food contact surfaces because after it finishes working, it is simply gone. This is the most important technical fact in this video. The hydrogen peroxide in your medicine cabinet is 3% concentration. The other 97% is water. At 3%, hydrogen peroxide has some disinfecting effect on shallow surfaces. It is appropriate for cleaning skin wounds. It has minimal penetrating power and inadequate oxidizing strength to reach or kill subsurface mold mycelium. The cleaning industry knows this. Every formulation chemist working for every major cleaning product company knows this. The hospital-grade hydrogen peroxide used in clinical settings operates between 7.5% and 30% concentration. Food processing facilities use 12% to 35%. Dental sterilization uses 30%. Industrial mold remediation, the professional service that charges you $400, uses between 10% and 29%. The version they sell you over the counter for $1.50 per bottle at 3% is not an accident of formulation. It is a deliberate market decision. A 3% solution does not effectively eliminate mold. A 3% solution means you buy more product, see partial results, conclude the treatment is not working, and call the professional who applies the concentration that actually works, charges you $400, and sends you home with a bottle of 3% spray to maintain the treatment. You now know what they use. Here is how to get it and how to use it. Food-grade hydrogen peroxide at 12% concentration is available from health food retailers, natural food stores, and online suppliers. It is sold as a food-grade cleaning agent and supplement adjunct and is completely legal to purchase. A 16 ounces bottle costs approximately $8 and is enough to treat an entire bathroom 3 times over. Diluted to working concentration, the cost per treatment drops to under $1. 35% food-grade hydrogen peroxide is available from the same channels and from laboratory supply companies. This concentration must be diluted before use at 35%. Hydrogen peroxide is caustic to skin and requires gloves and eye protection during handling. Diluted 1 to 3 with distilled water, it produces a 8.75% working solution that is safe for application and highly effective. The cost of 35% food-grade hydrogen peroxide drops the per-treatment price below $0.50. This is the $1 solution, not a product, not a brand. A concentration of a compound that has been publicly available for 150 years, applied at the strength that actually works. The hydrogen peroxide story is one of the cleanest examples of market suppression in consumer product history because it is so simple and so well documented. By 1990, hydrogen peroxide at higher concentrations was in routine use across food processing, hospital systems, and agricultural applications in the United States and Europe. The body of published research demonstrating its effectiveness against mold, bacteria, viruses, and biofilm was extensive. The EPA had approved it as a disinfectant. The FDA had approved food-grade applications. The science was settled and publicly available. In that same decade, the household cleaning products market was restructuring around branded product lines with proprietary formulations and high margins. Companies like Procter & Gamble, Reckitt Benckiser, SC Johnson, and Clorox were building the shelf presence and brand loyalty systems that dominate retail cleaning aisles today. Hydrogen peroxide at effective concentrations was incompatible with this model for 3 reasons. First, it cannot be easily branded. The compound is generic, unpatentable, and available from multiple commodity chemical suppliers. There is no proprietary version. Any company can sell it, and the cheapest supplier wins, which destroys margins. Second, at effective concentrations, it actually works permanently. A surface treated correctly with 12% hydrogen peroxide does not need retreatment on the timelines that drive repeat purchase. The mold does not return in 3 weeks. The repeat purchase cycle, which drives the entire economics of the household cleaning market, is broken. Third, it competes directly with professional remediation services that represent a much larger revenue stream than retail products. The mold remediation industry in the United States alone generates over $6 billion annually. The professional cleaning services market exceeds $100 billion. These industries and the product companies that supply them have overlapping distribution, overlapping retail relationships, and overlapping incentives to maintain consumer dependence on professional services. So hydrogen peroxide got assigned its role. It lives in pharmacies at 3%, marketed as a wound care product. When it appears in cleaning products, it appears at diluted concentrations inside branded formulas, priced at a premium, with performance that is adequate enough to retain purchase intent but inadequate enough to drive repeat purchases. The concentration they do not sell you is the one that works. The method they do not tell you is the one that makes it permanent. And the total cost they do not want you to calculate is $1 per treatment against $400 per professional service call. This is the process. Follow it precisely. The sequence matters. A safety note up front. If using 35% concentrate, wear nitrile gloves and eye protection when measuring and diluting. The working solution, anything below 12%, requires only basic gloves. The solution is safe on all common bathroom and kitchen surfaces, including tile, grout, porcelain, glass, painted drywall, wood, and sealed stone. It will lighten some fabrics if contact is prolonged, so keep it off clothing. Do not mix it with vinegar or any acid. The combination creates peracetic acid, which is more caustic than either alone. Use it alone. Step 1. Prepare the working solution. If using 12% food-grade hydrogen peroxide, use it at full strength for active mold infestations, diluted 1:1 with distilled water for maintenance and prevention. If using 35% concentrate, dilute 1 part concentrate to 3 parts distilled water. Use distilled water, not tap water. The mineral content of tap water slightly degrades hydrogen peroxide's oxidizing efficiency. Step 2. Dry the surface. This is counterintuitive but critical. Mold thrives in moisture, and the mycelium is most accessible when the surface is not saturated. Use a dry cloth to absorb surface moisture from the affected area. You are not cleaning the surface, you are preparing it for penetration. A wet surface dilutes the working solution on contact and reduces effective concentration. Step 3. First application. Apply the working solution generously with a spray bottle or foam brush. Do not scrub. The purpose of this application is penetration, not abrasion. The solution needs to sit undisturbed on and in the surface. Apply enough that the surface stays visibly wet for several minutes. This indicates the solution is saturating into the pore structure rather than evaporating. Step 4. Wait. 15 to 20 minutes minimum. During this time, the hydrogen peroxide is traveling through the capillary network of the grout, tile, or drywall. The oxidation reaction is occurring throughout this period. You will often see slight fizzing or bubbling. This is the oxidative reaction releasing oxygen as it contacts organic material. This fizzing is evidence of the mold being destroyed. The more activity you see, the deeper the infestation. Step 5. Second application. Do not wipe off the first application. Apply a second layer directly over it. This drives a fresh wave of concentrated oxidation into the surface. As the first wave has partially depleted, wait another 15 minutes. Step 6. Light wipe. After the second wait period, wipe the surface with a clean, damp cloth. You are not scrubbing. You are removing the dead mold material, oxidized spore debris, and residual solution. At this point, the surface will visibly be different. The discoloration may have lightened or disappeared. The grout texture will look open rather than clogged. Step 7. Prevention application. 1 week later, apply a single diluted maintenance treatment. 3% concentration is actually appropriate here, because at this stage you are maintaining a now hostile surface pH rather than eliminating active mycelium. A monthly maintenance application costs cents and prevents reestablishment indefinitely. For severe infestations, black mold on drywall, mold penetration behind tile, visible growth covering more than 10 square feet, the same process applies, but repeat the 2 application cycle over 3 consecutive days, on day 1, day 2, and day 3. Each treatment reaches deeper into the material as the oxidation opens the pore structure. After 3 days of treatment, do the wipe down and begin monthly maintenance. For mold behind surfaces, you cannot directly access inside wall cavities. Under flooring, this is the one scenario where professional assessment is genuinely appropriate, because the issue is structural moisture management, not surface chemistry. The cleaning industry has segmented hydrogen peroxide's applications into separate product categories, each with its own brand, its own shelf space, and its own price point. Understanding that one compound solves all 3 should make you angry. Problem 1. Bathroom and kitchen mold. This is the $400 remediation call. This is the monthly antifungal spray that works for 2 weeks. The solution costs $1 per treatment as detailed above. Permanent elimination with monthly maintenance. Problem 2. Grease and organic residue. Hydrogen peroxide at 12% oxidizes grease and oil-based residue in exactly the same way it oxidizes mold by destroying the molecular bonds of organic compounds. Oven interior surfaces, range hood filters, commercial kitchen equipment. A 30-minute soak with working concentration hydrogen peroxide, followed by a wipe, dissolves grease buildup that would otherwise require abrasive cleaners, degreasers, and significant scrubbing. Restaurant supply companies sell hydrogen peroxide-based degreasers at industrial pricing with significant markups. The compound costs $1. They charge $12 for 500 milliliters. You now know why. Problem 3. Hard water stains and mineral deposits. This is the category where the plumbing products industry has built an entire submarket: descalers, limescale removers, calcium deposit sprays, shower door cleaning products. Hard water stains are calcium carbonate and magnesium carbonate deposits. They require an acid to dissolve. Hydrogen peroxide alone does not dissolve mineral deposits. This one requires a combination. Hydrogen peroxide mixed with citric acid, which is a mild food-safe acid available from brewing supply companies for $3 per pound. Mix 1 tablespoon of citric acid with half a cup of 12% hydrogen peroxide. Apply to shower doors, faucet bases, tile, or chrome fixtures. The citric acid dissolves the mineral bonds, while the hydrogen peroxide simultaneously oxidizes any organic matter soap scum, mold, beginning behind the scale, in the same treatment. Total cost, under $1. The branded products doing this in separate steps cost $15 to $40 at retail. One compound or one simple combination solves all three problems the cleaning industry has built three separate $10 billion product categories to address. Let us follow the money with precision. The global household cleaning products market generates approximately $50 billion in annual retail revenue. The mold remediation services market generates over $6 billion. Professional cleaning services generate over $100 billion. The janitorial supply market generates a further $27 billion. A significant portion of this revenue exists because consumers do not have access to the correct concentration and application method for a compound that costs $1 and has been publicly known for 150 years. This is not a fringe claim. This is observable in the distribution pattern. Effective concentration hydrogen peroxide is available. It is not restricted. It is not regulated for consumer purchase. It simply does not appear on the shelves where consumers look. It lives in health food stores, laboratory suppliers, and specialist online retailers' channels that reach a fraction of the mainstream consumer market. The companies that own retail shelf space in cleaning aisles, the same companies that manufacture the 3% brown bottles, have no commercial incentive to promote the higher concentration product that they own. Research and formulation departments use daily. The mold remediation companies that benefit from repeat service calls have no commercial incentive to inform homeowners that the active chemistry they apply costs under $2 per job. The information gap is the product. Your lack of knowledge about concentration is a revenue stream. This video closes that gap. The compound is publicly available, the method is straightforward, the cost is $1. The result is permanent when the protocol is followed. Go to the bathroom that has mold, or the kitchen ceiling, or the window frame. Look at the grout in your shower. Order food-grade hydrogen peroxide at 12% concentration today. In the United States, it is available from online retailers at $8 to $12 for 16 ounces, enough for months of treatment. While you wait for it to arrive, buy a box of nitrile gloves and a spray bottle. Total investment, under $15. This treats your entire home, repeatedly, for the next 6 months. When it arrives, follow the 7-step protocol exactly. 2 applications, 15 minutes each, no scrubbing during treatment, final wipe after the second wait period. Monthly maintenance at 3% concentration. In 48 hours from now, the mold that has been in your bathroom for months, the mold you have been scrubbing, bleaching, and paying to have removed, can be gone, structurally, at the root. Permanently, with simple maintenance. The smell will go in 24 hours. The discoloration will clear within the first treatment. The spore count, the thing that was silently affecting your air quality and the respiratory health of everyone in your home, will drop to 0 in the treated areas. This is the result the industry charges $400 to deliver. This is what $1 and 15 minutes of waiting actually produces. The construction industry buried sodium silicate. The cleaning industry buried hydrogen peroxide at effective concentration. The pharmaceutical industry buried iodine applications. The agricultural industry buried diatomaceous earth. The pattern is consistent because the incentive is consistent. A cheap, generic, permanent solution is incompatible with a profitable service model built on repeat dependency. None of this requires secrecy in the traditional sense. None of it requires a boardroom conspiracy. It requires only that companies with distribution control, shelf space, relationships, and marketing budgets promote the products they profit from and simply never discuss the alternatives. The information has always been available. In technical journals, in food processing manuals, in hospital sanitation protocols, in the footnotes of professional remediation training materials. It was simply never routed to you. You have it now. Drop the amount this video just saved you in the comments. Share it with anyone who has had a mold remediation, quote, who scrubs the same bathroom grout every month, who has paid for services that came back 3 weeks later. Subscribe and hit the bell. This channel exists to surface exactly this kind of buried technical knowledge. The forbidden chemistry. We found it. You have it. The industry's $400 call just became your $1 afternoon.